I really was not comfortable with my postmenopausal midsection. That all was a distraction to me, and I could not figure out how to make it go away. And this is the only thing that worked.
Hello my honeys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Emmie. I'm a nutritionist and the creator of the Slim on Starch program. If you want to work with me as well as a mindset coach and a nutrition coach, then go to healthyhunnies.org or just click the link in the now bar. Back by popular demand, not me, the creator of this channel. Healthy Mummy is back. We just filmed a video the other day and there was so much positive feedback and many questions. So
That's nice.
I let her come back up from the basement where she lives and I toss her a sandwich every 6 months.
Start charging for these visits.
So we have plenty of questions. Do you want to just get into it, Mom?
Sure.
Okay. Love Healthy Mummy so much. I'm curious, how tall is your mom and what was her starting and current weight? She looks amazing.
Oh, thanks. I'm 5'10", and my starting weight was probably north of 150, and now I'm 135.
Yeah, and for those of you that aren't aware of why she even did the Slim on Starch program, she had very high cholesterol and was convinced that it was genetic.
I'm going to do Emily's program for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And why? What did the doctor have to say about a certain measurement of yours?
My cholesterol is 265.
So that's a problem. After 3 months or so on SOS, I received a text message. I got my cholesterol results with all these exclamation points. I was like, and why don't you read them?
Right. Well, they came in. I had to go sit down and open it because I was so nervous. But my cholesterol, which was 265, went down to 197. My triglycerides, which were 177, went down to 128. And my LDL went down to 119. And my cardiac risk ratio went down to 3.8.
Woohoo! So this means that all of her numbers went from out of range to into the normal range.
Right.
Within about 3 months of diet alone.
Yeah.
No medications, no statin, no crazy exercise, no surgeries, nothing. Simply through a Slim on Starch diet.
And the weight loss was a side effect of focusing on a healthy diet. So when you focus on health, you lose weight as a side effect. When you focus on weight loss, you lose health as a side effect because you do these crazy diets, you lose your mind. This is from Jamie, a past client. I would love to hear what a typical day of eating looks like for Healthy Mummy. Love it when you have her on.
Oh, thanks, Jamie. I start my day with oatmeal, and I mix in carrots, blueberries, chia seeds, almonds. I have that every single day. And lunch is a combination, depends what I've prepped for the week. It could be that McDougall soup that I talked about the other day, or I do a lot of Buddha bowls where I have my rice base, vegetables on top, put a little avocado toast in between every now and again, but it's basically those 3 things. And then dinner, whatever Healthy Daddy is serving. Mm-hmm. And he's on board, so it's fine.
Yes, and if you want to know what the weekly dinner schedule is at our house, we did a video and he talked about it, so I'll link that video below.
Yeah.
What is the menu, the weekly menu here?
It is fairly standard. Monday, we call Monday Thanksgiving without the turkey. We have potatoes, rice, beans, corns, lettuce, peanuts, onions, raisins, pickles when we have them from the garden, chickpeas or black beans. And you know, as you've seen it, it's in a big bowl. And as I always say, no 2 bites are the same. Every bite I take is something different. And I've now made my own dressing with
Chia seeds. If any of you struggle with digestive issues, if you struggle with constipation, then having chia seeds in the morning will help keep you regular, or you can do flax seeds. So you're nice and regular.
There you go.
Does your mom ever get any sweet urges?
Yeah, but I'll tell you, not as many as I used to. Healthy Daddy's been throwing leftover Halloween candy at me until it's gone, but not as much as I used to. And I used to have sweet urges all the time. But I was fascinated by your Insta story this morning about once you go completely plant-based and time goes by, you really don't crave that stuff anymore, and you can't play both sides of the fence.
I learned something very fascinating that I must share, which is this. If you've heard about the pleasure trap is this idea that processed foods are extremely out of the range of brain stimulation that we were meant to experience as humans. It's totally out of what the human experience should be. processed foods that are high in oil and salt and sugar, they give us an experience that is super normal that we were never designed for. These foods were never meant to be given to people to give us such an explosion of dopamine and endorphins that we experience when we eat these foods. And that's why people experience a euphoric sort of foodgasm when they eat ice cream and cookies and pizza, because it is an explosion of endorphins and dopamine that we were not designed to feel as humans. That is what the pleasure trap is, and that's what keeps people overweight and sick, because they're eating processed foods that make them feel euphoric. The thing that's important to note is that if you are exclusively eating whole plant foods, the high that you get is actually equivalent to the high that you would get if you're eating things like cakes and cookies and ice cream. You start to build up a sort of tolerance to the high that you get from those foods. So don't feel like if you're eating those foods, oh no, if I stop eating these foods, I'm never going to get enjoyment from the foods that I'm eating because I'm giving up that high for the rest of my life. You're not. If you move over to an exclusively whole foods plant-based diet, the high that you're going to get from your whole foods plant-based diet is going to feel just as good as the high that you would get from all of those processed foods. The issue is when you have both. The issue is when you have the processed foods and you have that, these super stimulating processed foods, and you have the whole plant foods like the apples and the oranges. The apples and the oranges taste terrible because they're in comparison to the super normal. My diet used to consist of strawberry frosted donuts.
Right.
If I can do it, if you can do it, anybody can do
That's
it.
right.
The follow-up part of that question was sort of a two-parter. They also said that you look great. What do you do when you get your sweet urges to stay on track?
I mean, if I have a chocolate chip cookie or if I have a piece of cake because it's someone's birthday, how I stay on track is I don't let that derail me. I just say, it's fine, I just move forward with it. I don't say, oh, forget it. I knew I couldn't do this. This is all useless. I can't do it. I just have it and move on.
Dr. Anthony Lim has this great saying: dilution is the solution when you can't do substitution. So if you have to have the almond joy that Dad threw at you the other night,
I asked him how many were left.
I was looking the other way. If you have to eat that, then if you pair it with a salad without oily dressing, with non-starchy vegetables, the overall calorie density is lowered tremendously because you've diluted it with the vegetables. So if you're going to have a piece of cake, have a bunch of vegetables before that so that the overall calorie density is much lower than if you had a piece of cake and then you had 18 cupcakes alongside it. So dilute by having all of those.
And once I think
vegetables.
you've been in it for a while, that stuff no longer appeals to you. I don't even go down those aisles at the grocery store, and if I do, it just doesn't even pull me in.
Somebody said, I need a healthy Emmie daughter.
Oh,
Am I up for sale?
no.
Oh, people were asking about your homemade hummus recipe.
Yeah.
She doesn't make her hummus at home.
Yeah, I made it once because I didn't have any. Yeah.
Are you starting a business now? She uses the Good Neighbor
I do. I
oil-free.
use Good Neighbor oil-free exclusively, and I don't know why. I think it's because I didn't have any, and I have this tahini that's sitting in the fridge. And
I don't know how it got there.
organic chickpeas, and I didn't measure anything. I really didn't. Drained the chickpeas, put it in the food processor, poured some tahini in, whizzed it up until it looked sort of, and then I didn't have any lemons, so I used limes. And
It's a mess.
It was a disaster. And then I threw garlic clove in, and I'm telling you, it was delicious. It was great.
If you are staying away from tahini, because tahini is an overt fat, it's ground up sesame seeds, then a little hack is if you put in some baked sweet potato, it makes it nice and creamy.
Oh.
So you could do chickpeas, baked sweet potato, garlic, lemon. This is from Heather, a current client. Yay, so excited to see Healthy Mom doing so well. Love this interview, thank you both. My question is, when people ask about how you eat and why you're doing so well, do you ever share with them about this lifestyle?
I do. I think trying to explain how it began and how I educated myself, and watching your documentaries, and sometimes just a simple dialogue about forks over knives will get the conversation started, and you'll find that people are interested. You've planted a little seed.
If you find that people are asking you and you're just uncomfortable talking to them, let the experts do the talking. Send them to the documentaries and talk about the books. And Dr. Lyle talks about the seam strategy. So you say, it seems like it's going well for me. So it kind of takes this whole charge situation down a level.
Yeah.
It seems like it's going well for me. Here's a documentary for you to check out
Yeah.
yourself. Heather also had another question, which is, by the way, if you are liking this video, then please hit the like button and hit subscribe. It really helps my channel. A Healthy Mommy is a nurse. Do you ever share or want to share with your patients who would benefit so much from the knowledge you've gained?
They would. That's a tricky balance. Sometimes it will come up. Sometimes people are already eating that lifestyle, so then we have something to talk about. But it really depends on the situation. Yeah.
I know sometimes you say to me, you say, sometimes I look at the patients and I say, if you just would look up my daughter.
Right, exactly, right.
People don't change until they're ready.
Right.
There's this saying that health is a halo that can only be seen by the sick. So it's not until somebody has a stroke or a heart attack that people will change.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, but when they're ready to change, we're here to help.
That's right.
But people don't change until they're ready.
Correct.
This question came up so often.
Oh.
People are dying to know what plant milks you use.
Oh, okay. Eden soy is the one that I get the most at Whole Foods, or if I'm at Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's has a brand of soy milk that's nothing but soybeans and water.
And you also did a little experimentation,
Oh, hi, Mr. Man.
with Elmhurst, right?
I did do Elmer's. I haven't done them since. I'm in Whole Foods all the time, and it's there. I like it. It works. I get it.
Yeah, so you want to make sure that the only ingredients are whatever is making the milk: oats, rice, cashews, and then water.
Yeah.
I know I say it every time, but I adore Mom and you.
Is that Dad?
You both are gorgeous inside and out. Does she eat any overt fats? So overt fats are avocados, nuts, seeds, nut butter.
Yes, I do. Well, I use almonds in my oatmeal, and I do use sunflower seeds, not roasted, like on top of my Buddha bowls and stuff. I do avoid the nut butters. I just feel like that's too calorically dense, and I have found for me that oils are not my friend. And then avocados I adore. Yeah, I don't have them all the time, but when I sort of get a little sick of what I'm eating, that's sort of my cleansing meal.
Hey, I'm about to turn 38. I've started to add starches and more plants into my diet. Well done. I cut out the animal-based products, but the lattes. My question for Emmie's mom is, what do you replace your lattes with to shift to a healthier way of drinking? I love to have a hot, sweet drink to sip throughout the day.
I do too, and my latte is my sort of go-to thing. If I have one a day. Sometimes I have two. One a day, and for me the key is the plant-based milk. If it's just soybeans and water, I'm good. If it's any other brand that has all kinds of other ingredients in it, not so much. That's when the weight starts to come back on, that awful feeling.
For anybody who struggles with their cholesterol, coffee could be the culprit of it, so be careful, especially for women quite sensitive to that. I recommend Tea-Chino or Dandy Blend. They're coffee replacements. They're herbal teas, but they taste just like coffee.
Okay.
And so they don't have the caffeine. A lot of my clients love those.
Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can try them out.
Yeah.
Love Healthy Mummy. Congratulations on her success. What are her current goals now? Is she in maintenance or trying to slim down, get healthier?
I'm in maintenance, I would say. I feel really good all the time. I just no longer feel like I used to, so I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. It's working for me.
Yeah, and we really did not go into this with the weight loss fixation. As I said earlier, when you focus on health, you lose weight as a side effect. If you need to lose weight based on your genetics. Your genetics when you're eating 100% whole foods plant-based are going to put you in a healthy weight range, but a healthy weight range is a 30 to 40 pound range. You'll land somewhere in there based on your genetics. So focus on health and you're going to land in a healthy weight range. I hope this isn't too personal, but how old is your mom? She looks fabulous. And I was on board to watch her entire journey and doing the same thing at the same time. Thank you.
Good for you. I'll be 62 in February.
Patty asks, and I can take this one, I think. Great video. My question is, how did you get your husband to give up meat? Oh, thanks for your supportive words. So my dad and I actually did a video on his journey. So I'm going to link that in the down bar. I did this first, she did it second, and then he did it third. We talked about that in that video, so I'll let him do the talking on that. Which Dr. McDougall soups do you use as your base?
French lentil, my favorite. Minestrone, garden vegetable.
Please ask her to start a YouTube channel.
Oh my God. Thank you very much.
Oh, I would love to hear details about her Transcendental Meditation practice.
Oh, when you learn TM, you have to have someone who is a TM teacher come and teach you. That's the way it works. There's no books, there's no online courses. So I had a person come to the house, 2 days I think it took. I do practice every single morning. You know, they say if you don't have time to do 20 minutes, then you need to do 40 minutes. It gets my day started on a really clean slate.
What was her why? You, as in me, always talk about 7 layers deep, and she appeared slim before, so why did she do this?
I did. I don't mean I did appear slim before, but when Emily gets an idea in her head, we're interested in it. And that's what started it off, but I really was not comfortable with my postmenopausal midsection at all. It was a distraction to me, and I could not figure out how to make it go away. And this is the only thing that worked.
Yeah, she was slim her whole life. It's the postmenopause. Whoa, this is not my body. And also her cholesterol was
Yeah, my cholesterol was very high.
outrageous. And that's what I really wanted to take care of, because you said to me it was genetic. And I said, let me get my hands on this.
Yeah, medical community that tells you that it is genetic and therefore you need another medication, you tend to believe them. But
I remember we were watching What the Health, and you turned to me and you said, I am never taking a statin. Tell me what to eat.
yeah, and it worked. Back down the basement I go.
Yes. I have a couple slices of stale bread coming her way. Tell us what our next Healthy Mummy video should be. We have a whole playlist of videos, so what videos should go next? Love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.